Hello, my name is Sam and this is The Know. Former Home Secretary Dame Priti Patel has given evidence at the COVID inquiry. Keep watching to find out more. Priti Patel told the COVID inquiry that the government's hands were effectively forced into putting strict border controls in place at the start of the pandemic.
We all witnessed very terrible scenes on our TVs, of the impact of coronavirus around the world in certain countries. Our hands, I think, were effectively forced, really, because of Wuhan, what was happening in China. And that led to a series of measures that are documented in some of the evidence statements that have been provided around borders, visas, etc.
She also admitted that the government lacked capability and skills to restrict the spread of coronavirus throughout the border.
There was a distinct absence of practical capability to be able to restrict the infection through the border. And secondly, there was no sophisticated or effective system already thought about, drawn up, and ready to be put into place when the virus emerged.
I think that's absolutely correct. And with that, no technical capability. I think the capability, technical skills, there are things that we'll come on to later. Passenger locator form was one example of that. But at that stage, the skills and capability simply weren't there.
The former Home Secretary said that the decisions made during lockdown could be argued to be political, as there had been an election a few months prior.
Bear in mind the political context of the time. January 2020, we'd just had an election in 2019. I was due to actually implement legislation around immigration. So ending free movement, the immigration bill we were working on through that period. So, there were live discussions. You could argue in some quarters they were political. Absolutely, they were political for obvious reasons.
As Home Secretary, she had defended the way police enforced lockdown measures despite criticism of their approach. People were only allowed to go outside to exercise once a day, and only those deemed key workers were allowed to go to work. At the time, police could fine people up to £10,000 for COVID breaches. In 2020, Priti Patel said that she would call the police if she saw her neighbours breaking the rules and backed strong enforcement. Other witnesses in the inquiry on Thursday included Martin Hewitt, the former chairman of the National Police Chiefs Council. During his statement in the inquiry, Hewitt explained the 4 E's that officers tried to enforce during the pandemic. The 4 E's were engage, explain, encourage and enforce. He stressed that many of the police engagements with the public during lockdown did not involve issuing of fines, but rather the first 3 stages.
And it's another, I think, important point for the inquiry to understand is when people talk about the level of enforcement, they tend to go directly to how many fixed penalty tickets were issued, and there is a categoric number for that. What we can't measure is how many, the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of engagements that happened where the process ended at one of the first three stages there.
Thank you for watching The Know. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more daily news updates.